This video is dedicated to Mr. Tripod. Mr. Tripod was climbing up the hill and injured his leg. Even though he was in pain, he still held the camera up all the way through to the end of the shoot. What a trooper. So in loving memory, Mr. Tripod, we salute you. How you doing? I got several little projects I'm doing today. The first one is I'm using the alot pack without the frame. I was kind of wanting to see how well that performed. The second one is I'm going to be using my cook kit for the very first time, a really small one I built. And the third one is I'm going to cross that river and do some rock climbing. But first, before I show you where we're going, I'm going to show you what it took to get here. So I'm going to draw you a little map here on this sand, kind of show you the route I took in. So come on over here and let's take a look. Okay, first off, I came in through the river, which runs this way, and that is the Missouri River, which is extremely low right now. And there's another small little river right here, and a lot of times I'll camp in this area right here. Okay, but the trailhead is somewhere right about down here. Is where I originally came in at. And what I do is I hike down the trail and I go through a national park. Now the national park ends probably about 1.25 miles, and the trail veers off this way. Now after I leave the national park, we kind of come into a wildlife reserve. And it's about maybe 2 miles or more, a little bit. And of course right here is the infamous bamboo field, which I really love. And then it continues along the way, and then it curves off, and the trail goes all the way around the wildlife reserve. And they both kind of loop around back to the trailhead, right there. Now this area from here to here, what did I call is no man's land. Nobody really claims it because it's kind of a flood plain and nobody wants to take care of it basically. But once you cross over this little river, over here is owned by the railroad. And that's where we're going to go because they got some really nice cliffs over there. There's only one problem with this plan. I need to get across the railroad tracks and up the cliffs before a train comes by. Now they've been running really heavy today because I've been watching them, and they're running probably about every 5 to 10 minute rotation on them. So I need to get across before somebody sees me because I don't want to call in and have them come down and investigate what I'm doing. So it's going to be a really fun day. Let's get started. Yeah, this looks like fun. Originally, I was going to cross over some of them trees over there, and kind of changed my mind against it because the water's kind of cold. But the beavers has conveniently built a dam right down there, and now there's just a little trickle, so I think I can go down this hill and scurry up the other side, and hoping we won't find any snakes in the process. Just dropped my walking stick. I'm thinking it's way too cold for them to be out right now. That's not too bad. Yep, I'm gonna get muddy. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Now, let's head for the tracks. We're probably a good 25, maybe 50 foot away from the tracks up there. And we got to find a way to get through this brush and get up to the tracks. Okay, let's go around over here. That looks doable. Let's see, I am not going up that way. Let's go down here. That's not going to work. Let's try down here where the trees are. I'm thinking trying to go up them loose rocks, not a good idea. So, I'm going to use these trees. And I think we'll attempt right there. Going up's going to be a pain in the butt, but coming down, I think that's going to be fun. Yeah, we'll use that. And I think I hear a train coming. There's a train coming, and I'm just gonna hide here for a minute until it passes. I really don't want to get spotted crossing the tracks. As soon as it's through there, I'll have 5 minutes to clear the tracks and get up the other side. Right over there, looks good way up. I think I'm gonna go up there. Looks like a good spot. Oh, Lordy, it's hot out. That's kind of cool. Huh. Up there it is. Huh. I do believe we found a barbed wire fence. I'm thinking we're not. Oh, there's a way around it. I don't know, that's awful tight fit. I don't think I want to risk it. I'll tell you what, this, what I'm going to do, yeah, this will work, is drop my pack. There we go. And yeah, go through the barbed wire and then up to the other side. Yeah, have a definite rest break. This is a lot more work than I thought it would be. Definitely finding an easier way down on the way back. That was not fun. Not fun at all. Now we just got to find the perfect location to set up at. I'm thinking right up over this hill somewhere. Oh, prickly bush. Oh, I hate those things. Let's see. One there. This is a freaking vicious one. Hey, prickly bushes. There's a nice spot right up there we should give it a try. I'm gonna go over that way and see how that works. And I hear another train in the distance. And there's another barbed wire fence up there. Interesting. And I think this is the spot. Freaking view is amazing. A little windy. Nowhere really to duck off from the wind, so I think we're going to go here. Actually, right about there. Go ahead and drop pack and rehydrate, and I'll show you a little bit about the Alice pack without its frame. First thing I'm going to do is put my hat on. Been sweating a little bit, and I really don't want to cool down too quick, catch myself a cold. Let me show you what I've done with my pack here. Like I said, I've removed the frame off of it. What I did is I just went ahead and attached the MOLLE belt to the pack itself towards the bottom, and just went ahead and put, these are actually, I found out, these are Alice pack upgrade straps. They're not MOLLE straps. I recently found that out, and they're very comfortable. I put those to the pack. The whole reason I went without the frame is because I did all that rock climbing, and I wanted the pack to be really flexible. Honestly, the waist belt really didn't do much. It just kind of really kept the pack against my body, which wasn't, you know, a big deal. It really didn't hold the weight up. Most of the weight was actually on the shoulders itself. So yeah, that wasn't a problem. If I do it again, I really suggest I probably should put a chest strap on there. Now I'm gonna pull, if I can find a spot without a prickly bush. The little fuckers are everywhere. Whoops, sorry about that. Pull some of the gear out, and I'll show you. I came in extremely light today because I was going to be climbing some steep rocky areas. And I'm going to pull some of the gear out, kind of show you what I got. I'm going to clear a spot real fast. Of course, I brought in my machete. I brought Junior in with me because I didn't want to bring Senior. It's way too big and bulky, and I just put him in the back of the pack there. Of course, I had to have an extra jacket this morning because I'm telling you right now, it's pretty freaking cold out. Okay, an extra hat. This is a lot thicker than the one I'm wearing right now, just in case it got extremely cold. Very lightweight. I just put together kind of an essentials kit. That way, if I needed something, of course, I brought in a bandana. Notice it is yellow. If I get myself in a bit of trouble, you're going to be able to see that. Brought in one fire starter, extra battery for the camera, which I'm going to need here very shortly. The multi-tool. Flashlight, because I don't know if I'm going to be coming out in the dark or not. You just never know. Always bring in my first aid kit. This is something really cool. I was watching the NewAmericanWoodsman, and he's got a really good channel. If you get a chance, go by there and check it out. I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but one of his videos will make you hungry for venison. It's got a really great recipe. But he put on his, he used some 550 cord. I just use polycord because I got a ton of that stuff laying around. And the reason he said he put it on there, and it makes a lot of sense to me, is if you cut yourself really bad somewhere on the fingers or thumb, there's really no way to open this up. I mean, I can imagine if I slice several of my fingers there, it'd be hard to grab that zipper. So I was thinking, grab it with your teeth and open it up. So that was a really good idea. So thanks for the tip, NewAmericanWoodsman. I appreciate that, and I'll put a link to your page down below so everybody can take a look at it. All right, what else we got in here? My new compact stove, which we're going to be using here in a minute because I'm freaking hungry. Extra gloves, and then of course over here, medical needs. And my usual trail bars. I never leave home without them. You can lose so much energy on the trail. Especially when it's cold out, I tend to eat a little bit more, so I'll snack probably about every hour or so, or when I feel my sugar getting low. So we got those. My knife, because I can't wear it on my belt with the waist pack, or the waist belt on the pack, kind of rubs against it. Of course, more water. I got my water that I carry on my side. Just clip it to the MOLLE waist belt. And I'm actually storing my extra camera in here today. I took some other shots on the way in, and it fits in there great. I was using my GPS in there, but since my GPS crashed on me, I haven't brought it out to the field because I just don't trust it anymore, and I'm going to stick with the compass because I'm thinking it's a lot more safe. And I just added one more thing of water. I'm only carrying 2 Nalgene bottles full of water. which I'm going to give in a minute. And over here is basically where I put my camera. And we got some good old Mountain House meals in here. I've got a chicken teriyaki with rice, Rainbow Hiker. I don't know if I'm going to eat that or not. Kind of in the mood for breakfast. I don't know why. This is a quick snack I usually do on the trail. This is granola. That's milk and blueberries. You just add water and mix for this. And scrambled eggs and bacon, pre-cooked. I think this is what we're going to have. So that's pretty much all I carried. Came in really, really light. I think pack weight was probably 9 pounds. And of course, compass. Very important, especially when it starts getting dark and it gets harder to navigate through the woods. So, with all that, let's get the cook kit set up. I'm going to stash some of this gear away real fast. Actually, I think this area here is going to work perfect. Oh, almost forgot. My sporks, titanium sporks. So, getting this stashed. Now, this will be the very first time I've used this stove in the field. I did do a little test run at the house just to see how it would act, and it kind of worked fine. But the conditions today are a little bit windy, as you can tell. And temperature is probably 49, 50 the last time I checked. So it's not too cold. So it shouldn't take that long for the water to boil up on us. So I put it in a good old Crown Royal bag. To keep it clean and to keep it from rattling in the pack and driving me freaking nuts. Towel. Coleman Max Cook Kit bottom and top. Boom, inside we have matches. And I'll be using a Jetboil fuel cell for this. I think we're gonna set it, if we can get it kind of level. Right there looks good. Now I try to keep the little safety lids on these as possible, that way dirt don't get inside there or anything happen to the threads. And here's the little stove itself. So let's go ahead and attach that. I'm going to give her the old sniff test just to make sure it's not leaking. Okay. Valve works. Only one thing left to do now. Whoops. I'm impressed. Not bad at all. Huh. Seems to have a lot of control on the gas knob. Huh. Okay. Eight ounces, I meant. Oops. New floaties. Huh. Pot fits on there quite nicely. up and see what happens. Oh! Spider. They're freaking big. Alright, we're good. Okay, we're up to quite a boil here, and it took roughly about 3.5 minutes because I timed it in between. Can't even talk. Timed it in between the trains crossing down below, and yeah, we're quite a roaring boil here. In 3 minutes in this weather condition, I'm thinking that's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and have me some breakfast for lunch and enjoy the rest of my day. I want to do some more exploring. There's some cliffs over there, and I swear to God, there's got to be a cave there somewhere, and I really want to find that today. All in all, though, Alice pack without the frame on there, it worked really well. The waist belt didn't work as good as I thought it would, but it did hold the pack to my body. Now, another thing is I didn't think about, because I had layers of coats on, that could have been a problem too. If I didn't have so many coats on, it might have held to my body a lot better. I'm not sure. I'll have to try that some other time. The little stove on my cook kit, this is just that cheap $8 stove you can kind of pick up on Amazon, and it does take a little while for you to get it, but it works freaking great. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. Hang on, I gotta stir my eggs. That looks good. But works really great. It's extremely compact. I'm impressed with it. I'm very happy I purchased it. Other than that, I think that's it. Like always, comments are welcome. Feel free to ask me anything, and if I have the answer, I'll try to answer it for you. And like always, thanks for watching. Just gonna do a little bonus footage. Kind of show you the view here before the sun gets too far down. There's the river down there. There's the railroad tracks I've been talking about, and oddly enough, I didn't need to film, and I haven't had a train come by in about 10 freaking minutes. Can you believe that? Great view of the river. If you look across there, see how well this zoom works. When I zoom in, you can see a grain silo, right? Let's try that. There you go. There's a grain silo, and come around. There's a farm. And way off in the distance. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. And you can't see it. There's another farmhouse right over there.